The problem lies with men.
但是女人有她特别的一个身份在。
But women have their own niche.
还记得吗？上次在讲到曾经讲过新娘子的意思。
Last time in my sermon I talked about the wish of a bride.
新娘子就新妈的意思 ，right?
Okay. In Chinese, 新娘 means a new mother.
Yeah， 像我现在和我太太就常妈妈。
Right now, I address my wife as Mama.
这个在某个角度来讲也是，因为我们的上帝其实也是很有爱的。
You can see our God is God of love.
因为圣经里面讲到，在以赛亚书讲到说，妇人焉能忘记她吃奶的孩子呢？
In the book of Isaiah, the prophet said, "How can a mother forget her nursing child?"
就算有忘记的，我却不忘记你。
Even mothers forget you. God said, "I will not forget you."
那是上帝的那种爱的，好像母性的另外一方面。
We can see the motherly love in God's love for us.
所以到最后，当孩子离开家之后，常常夫妻喊来喊去，因为在过去，因为有孩子在嘛，所以妈妈就应了。所以当孩子离开之后，妈妈是习惯就先生喊太太是妈妈，太太喊先生是爸爸。所以事实上，他们两个等于在彼此滋养、牧养一样的那种爱。
So here, before the kids leave the house, the kids used to address mother as mama, and after they leave the house, it's a husband who will now call the mother mama. So you can see that how they fit together.
所以这个整个来讲，其实讲的说我们对婚姻的一个了解和那种知识在里面。
So here is our knowledge and also understanding about marriage.
历史实在是错怪了很多女人，也是对女性来讲很不公平。
If you see study the history, history has not been kind to the women as well as do not understand the role of a woman.
研究里面也是讲到说，当男人结婚之后，他们的行为会改变，会比较乖，比较能够适应社会。
Even the study says that after the man is married, he settles down, become more mature, and becoming more beneficial to the society.
所以单身的男人他的保费是高的，因为他没有牵挂，他可以爱怎么样就怎么样，就容易出问题，所以他们的保险费是比结婚的人是更高，而且他们是更早死。
Men usually are more carefree and more outgoing and more, like taking risks. That is why they died before the women.
所以他们因此呢，当他们长大以后，原来的妈妈管不住了，所以他们需要一个新的妈妈来管。
After they grow up, their own mother can no longer control them, so they require another mother to control them.
但是女人们也需要知道，你要知道这个意思。
But as women, you must know your role or this meaning.
好，很高兴，因为在这个忙碌的日子，有段时间可以大家亲近一下。
So I am grateful to God that in my business I have this time to to be quiet.
我下面的信息有一些是跟以前是一样的。
What I share with you, you might have heard earlier.
当我在讲的时候，你可能就想起来了。
Maybe it will refresh your memory.
但是在学习理论来讲，是告诉我们说，你所学的东西，大概5天之后，你会忘掉90%。
But the study says that whatever you heard after 5 days, you will forget 95% of them.
请问一下，邱牧师2-3个礼拜前的讲道主题是什么？就那几个字就好。
What was my last title of my sermon? Thomas?
3个层次的惧怕。
Yeah. Yeah.
女性的海马体是比男人大的，你晓得吗
It's the 3 level of fears. Now, Thomas, what are those 3 levels?
It's okay. 有的时候传道人自己也忘掉 ，OK， 很自然的事情。那就是我们不断学习、不断成长、不断学习、不断成长。
So here is that time for us to study and to grow as we grow older.
西方有位叫 Immanuel 康德哲学家，他讲到说，当事情第一次来的时候，我是迷迷懂懂的，不太清楚，因为你没有看到整个全部嘛，所以不太清楚。
Philosopher, right?
对 philosopher
called Mandarin said that when you encounter first thing, it is quite vague because you don't see the whole picture.
Yeah, 但是当第2次再来的时候，我就知道是怎么回事了。
But when the same thing happened the next time, you will know more, much more. You know what is going on.
这位是黄维仁博士，被称为爱情专家，是亚洲就是华裔非常有名的。
This is Dr. Wong, and he is known as the expert in romance.
他在读博士的时候，他读了人家3倍的学分，读了240个学分。
During his getting his what we call doctorate, 多少？ 240 credits. He got 240, so he's a brilliant man.
他很深的感觉就是，其实我们对相同的事情，我们要学7次。
And he said that to really learn something thoroughly, you have to do it 7 times.
所以这样子，当这个事情你就整个可以了解了，你就可以变成一个专家了。
Then you will understand the whole thing and then become an expert in that particular field.
是，当我在上次参加你们团契的时候，我也发觉说，很多时候我们还是虽然说有听过一些，可是很多时候其实还是不能够了解彼此。
Last time when I had a fellowship with you, and I realized that many of you still do not know your spouse thoroughly.
所以在这一次的 Love in Summer 在夏日恋情里面呢，我就会再重复一点点，然后会再谈到沟通，还有 sex 我们更深的关系。
So in our camp this time, the summer, Love in Summer, I'll talk about how we can communicate and especially to understand the deeper meaning of sex.
上帝爱我们，因为他了解我们。
God loves us because He knows us.
相信我，我爱我的孩子会超过爱你的孩子。
Let me tell you that I can love your children more than I love my own.
不单单他是我的血亲，同样的也会了解他更多。
And even to understand more.
Yeah. 那么因此，除非我们有真正的了解，不然我们就很难真正接纳。
If we do not really understand each other, then we cannot accept each other thoroughly.
你冲突的本身是会存在的，因为作为人就是活在冲突里面。
When we live together, there are bound to be conflicts.
但是如果能够了解的，你当然自然容易接纳，对不对？
If we understand each other, then we can accept each other better.
所以我们要再看看两性，上帝创造他们的差异，能够解释一下很多的谜。
Let us first of all try to understand the difference between the sexes and the coordination.
好，那么在这里面，圣经还是我们最好的一个答案。
So the Bible is the best place to find the answer to our life.
因为假如我相信我们在生活里面，我们很多时候会看到一些有关进化论，他们讲说什么人类啊，或是动物的一些进化来为什么这样的问题。
We may even study that man has been evolved, in evolutions.
对，但事实上，如果你仔细去思想跟圣经的比较的话，你会发现有很多没有办法回答的。
But if you study the Bible and study evolution cannot explain many of the things.
我最近特别是想到人类的眼睫毛。
The eyelashes lately I'm thinking about.
你要晓得，那眼睫毛不是每一根都一样长，对不对？
The eyelashes, the length is not the same for each one of us.
它有一个弧度。
There is a curvature is different.
意思在弧度两边是比较短的 ，right？ 所以慢慢变长，对不对
？So the curvature is shorter at the corner and longer in the middle.
我就想到，进化论有什么理由能够进化出这么漂亮一个睫毛，有个弧度在那？你知道男生就喜欢长长的睫毛 ，right？ 假的也没有关系。
So I was just wondering in what way evolution can explain these differences? Like man loves women with long.
That's right. You don't like it? We love
I'm
it.
not sure.
唐崇
I realize it now.
唐崇不是讲那些长长的睫毛啊，呀，那是为什么女性们都弄长长假的也没有关系，因为男人很容易被骗的。
So that is why the women like to put on false eyelashes to attract the attention from men.
因为男人是受眼睛刺激是很厉害的。
Because man eyes are being influenced greatly.
女人是特别的。
Because women are special.
因为他们是上帝最高完成的一个创造。
Because they are the last created beings, so in other words, must be the masterpiece.
他们也是最精巧、最细致、宇宙中最美的生物。
So most beautiful, most detailed, and most I cannot find the right word.
所以记得吗？上次在团契的里面，当写上说男生女生那个10个最吸引你的时候，男生呢写的第一个是什么？还记得吗？写最吸引他们的第一个还记得吗？是什么？
Last time in fellowship we talked about men and women. What attracts them, the attractive thing. What attracted you most? What is top on the list for men?
记得吗？男生们写什么？记得吗？漂亮，记得吗？
Yeah, you said
漂亮，记不得？
external beauty, isn't it?
女生写男生第一个是什么？你们的结论还记得吗？还记得吗？都不记得了，记得吗？
Understanding.
记不记得？但我讲出来你就晓得，对不对 ？Honest, right?
Honesty.
Honesty, right? 记得吗 ？Yeah. 所以你看得到吗？女性是比男性成熟，你抓到那个意思吗？
So you can see that for these two study, you can see that women are more mature than men.
当女人在找男人的时候，或者看到男人他要一个成熟的品格，诚实是非常重要的。
So you can see that when a woman looking for a man is, honesty to her is very important.
但是当男人在找的时候，往往看的就是漂亮。
So what men look for in the beginning is just external beauty.
That's a skin deep, right? Skin deep,
That's only that's external beauty is only skin deep.
那是为什么 Samson 他就输在迪莱拉的手里面？
And why Samson, lost at the hand of Delilah.
所以当你的年纪，当一个太太她年纪稍长的时候，先生还是一样爱她的时候，那就是先生的美德，因为他对她是忠实的。
So how a woman still love a man if the man can remain honest and faithful?
对，所以圣经是讲到，当上帝造男人造女人的时候，他有不同的目的在。
So here you see that when God created man and woman, there is a different purpose.
所以教男人的话是要他修理工作、看守伊甸园，还有汗流满面，他要能够工作。
Told the man that you should maintain the garden and also toil in order to find something to eat.
所以游手好闲从来不是用在女人的身上。
So in other words, when we describe somebody is lazy, usually is describing men.
因为游手好闲后面跟着就是为非作歹，就做坏事去了。但女人不会这样，大多数女人不会这样。
Usually, if a man has nothing to keep him occupied, usually he ends up doing something that is wrong against the law, but not women.
那么造女人的第一个角色就是她是一个帮助人。
The purpose of the woman, the role of a woman is to be a helper.
但帮助的绝对不是弱者。
But to be a helper doesn't mean that it's the weaker sex.
再来就是她会恋慕她的丈夫。
The woman supposed to admire her husband.
恋慕就是那种爱，我要跟你在一起，你要陪我。
So in that, what it does mean that you should love me and should always in my company.
所以我太太去逛街的时候，常常说要拉我去。
So whenever my wife goes for a walk or goes to the mall, I have to accompany her.
但是你会去逛街吗？会自己去逛街吗？去到 mall 里面去消耗一天吗？
我只是坐在那里。
Yeah, right 。然后坐在那边。
你进去，我坐在外面。
因为两性有很大的差别在里面。
你叫我在 Laura Patrick 看什么？
Window
就坐在外面，你进去。
Window 下面吗？
那是 Laura Patrick 就是女人的。
对，
你看什么？
男人就到了 source 去看那些，就是两性差别而已。
So this is the difference of the two sexes.
但是当我自己研究这些之后，我太太拉我去，我就去，因为我知道当我陪她，就是我爱她。
So when I study this and whenever she asks me to accompany her, I do that because that is what I meant. I love her.
是，那么这是透过生理来形成的。
This is through our physiology.
但是我们也知道，这些东西很多不是在圣经里面。
But all these things may not be found in the Bible.
因为圣经讲到说，上帝要我们管理这个世界，所以这些其实放在我们管理的里面了。
God created the world for us to manage it. And this is not within that.
所以在这里面，第一个当然是我们的圣经，因为圣经讲到上帝的创造的因素。
So how we should base on the Bible because it tells us our origin, the purpose.
另外就是透过现代科技对人的了解，那这是我们管理的一部分了。那么像这些书是很好的书。
So these are some of the books I can recommend you to read.
Why we love？
我们OK.
为什么我们会爱在一起
Why because of love we live together.
你看到，我相信很多的妻子在外面逛街，如果看到年轻的谈恋爱的人，他们走在一起的时候，手都牵在一起的时候，一定会怀念。哎呀，以前你都这样对我。
Especially the older couples, when they go to the mall and see the younger couple are so intimate, holding hands, they will say, "Well, we used to be like that. Why cannot we do it now?"
Yeah， 所以他们说，你如果在餐厅里面要判断他们是谈恋爱还是结婚的，很简单。
Okay, you go to a dinner, if you observe those others sitting around the other table, you can easily make out whether they are in the romancing state or something else.
那个一直在那边讲话那些年轻人，他们就在谈恋爱；那坐在那边两个就在吃饭，没什么话好讲的，就是结了婚的了。
And those who keep on talking to each other, you can say that they must be, in their courting state. And those who are just busy eating, the couple must have been married or maybe for years.
OK， 为什么？这后面其实有生理的原因在的。
Because there is a physiological part.
待会我们讲，不是现在。
Not now. Later.
OK， 所以如果能够了解这些，我们会更加的了解对方。所以我现在出去的话，我就会故意牵我太太的手了，故意做爱出来。
So,
yeah， 或者搂着她。
So because I study these things, so nowadays whenever we go out to malling, not shopping, malling, and I purposely hold hands with her.
我守我的约，像以前一样，我还是搂她。
So I keep my part of the covenant. I still hold hands with her.
那就是透过这些之后，你了解为什么这样子，不然那是为什么外遇的人，他们说，哎呀，我现在不爱你了，我找到真爱了，所以他就跟另外一个女人跑掉了。
So that because those who have ex-marital relationship is because of that. They say, "Oh, I don't love you anymore. I should look for a new love."
是真正的这样的，因为那是那个性费洛蒙的作用 ，sex pheromone。
Oh, this okay. What?
是，所以那个效期只有18到30个月左右就没有了。
We can see that the attraction between the two sexes is around 18 to 20 months.
真的就是这样子。
Means physically.
所以能够了解，我们就能够真的学习怎么样彼此相爱。
If we try to understand these facts, then we know how to live together in love.
是，那我们晓得男生通常有他的特色在的。当你看一个男人的时候
，So look at the characteristic of a man.
他们通常是好面子，要尊严。
So their leadership focus on reputation and respect, demand respect.
他们能够拼命工作的，能够完成任务。
They are aggressive and career oriented, focus on tasks.
他们的力气比女性强壮。
Yeah.
然后他们很理性、事实分析的。
Rational focus and analytical.
这个意思是，当太太有什么困难要跟先生讲的时候，先生就给他答案了，太太就不高兴了，问题在这里出现了。
And usually, women like to share the problem, and when the man hear it, he already had the answer.
Yeah， 这就是解决问题的能力。
Because we are analytical, we want to solve problems.
但是太太希望被了解，不是被解决。
But here we know that the women love a wife require you to understand and not for you to solve her problem.
但是女性呢，我们可以看到她们是漂亮的，她们爱打扮的。
So they are beautiful, they are gentle, and they like to make up.
到达一个地步，在以赛亚书里面或在保罗的书信里面，也是警惕女人不要打扮得太那个。
So here we find the Bible, even Paul advised a woman don't spend too much time taking up yourself.
Yeah， 另外就是他们很能够为其他人去想的。
So sensitive, creative, considerate, and care.
他们对爱是有反应的。
And they react to love.
他们可以付出很多去爱他的男人，爱他的孩子。
Willing to sacrifice and to give.
那么另外就是我们也看到，他能够男性比较不敏感。
So here we find men are not so is more insensitive.
有时候太冷酷了，好像太太很难过的时候，先生都没有什么反应。
Sometimes becoming too cold and do not react to the way the women like.
因为男人在分辨女人悲伤的表情上面输于女人。
So man is inferior to the women in understanding a situation.
That's right.
The facial expression.
所以我在结婚早几年的时候，直到我看到我太太眼泪掉下来，我看到东西的时候，OK， 我必须要好好跟她讲话。
So if during the earlier stage of our marriage, when I see the tears roll down my wife's cheek, then I know it's time for me to really know why this is happening.
因为我不知道她有多难过。
Because I don't understand why she is so sad.
另外，男人不太在乎生活的细节。
They are not detail-minded, the men.
然后后来，他们不太乎美学，不太在乎美学跟关系。
So they do not care much about the relationship and also your appearances.
再下来，可能让很多太太比较头痛的是，她的性欲强很多。
Find the men usually are more sex-driven.
然后他是工作导向。
And also career-oriented, task-oriented.
那女性是很在乎能够说话、能够沟通的。
So women likes to communicate and to talk.
你记得当约伯遭遇大难的时候，他有几个朋友来，然后坐了几天，一句话都没说吗？记得吗？
对。
他来了3个男性的朋友，跟他在一起7天7夜没有说一句话。
In the book of Job, when Job was suffering, 3 of his men friends came to visit him, and you find that for 7 days and 7 nights they sat together without speaking a word.
你想一个女人能够坐在旁边7天7夜不说一句话吗
Do you think
impossible?
a woman can do that?
是，那再来就是他们能够照顾各方面的。
And you find that they take care of literally everything.
甚至到一个地步，他们不会停下来的，因为女人不会停下来的，跟他们大脑是有关系，你可以看到。
To a point that they do not stop because this is how their brain was structured.
Yeah， 所以这个造成在家里男性找不到什么事情做，可是女生在家里什么就不会停下来。
So as a result, you find in the home, men usually cannot find anything to do, whereas a woman can never stop doing.
所以他们在这些方面，他们是比男性能够活得更好。
So you find that they live better in this area.
而且事实上，在生活整个上面来讲，女性是比男性积极的。你能体会这个意思吗
？Even in life or in what they do in life, you find that they are more diligent than women.
Yeah， 所以这个比如像现在的，因为电脑大家都有电脑都上网，所以呢，宅男是比宅女多。宅男就在家里不出去，order 披萨回来吃，然后就在家里面这样子，放假也不出去。宅就是房子的意思。对，他们在家里。
宅女的。Okay. So because nowadays we have computers, right? So the boys stay at home now more than the girls. Means the children.
Yeah， 所以这些都跟他的身体是有关系的。
This is all related to how they are created.
那么这个圣经提到的也是讲说，在人类里面，圣经独有的解释就是男人存在是工作、领导、责任。
So here you find the Bible tells us that the role of a man is to work, to lead, and to maintain.
那工作当然就任务，也包括管理的责任在里面。
So the work means including control and manage.
那另外就是男人也是个 leader 领导者。
So man usually is the leader.
这个是当然他有比较强壮，另外他有比较果断的一个决策在里面，这是领导者所需要的特性。
Because as a leader, you have to be strong and you have to be decisive.
因为如果你能够果断的表示你不受情感的约束，情感的。
To be decisive, that means you are not emotional. You don't decide things based on emotions.
所以我们也看到在圣经里面讲到说，当夏娃犯罪之后，上帝找人算账是找亚当算账，对不对？然后也把罪归在亚当的头上，这是因为他是 leader， 他是领导者的责任。
When Eve sinned, you find that God's judgment is on Adam because Adam was the leader.
Yeah， 那么这些其实在生理上都可以找到一些东西的。
we can find the answer we can find the answer physiological.
好，那么可能还有人记得了，男生的2个乳头是做什么用的吗？记得吗？
Let me ask you, what is the purpose of the man's nipples?
它没有用的。
There's no use.
注意到，
最近我看见好像有一个男人的乳头是 breastfeeding 的小孩子。
OK， 我不知道能不能。
那这个是例外。
对，但是它可以，因为打了雌性荷尔蒙，它就起来了。因为哺乳类的动物都有乳头。如果你们家有养公狗、小公狗，躺下去，脚翘起来，你就看到那公狗它有好多乳头在。
All the mammals they have nipples, whether male or females.
因为它们原来都是女生，都雌性的身体。
Because first, as they are forming, they form the female body first.
对，这个是透过现代科技可以了解。
And this is what we can understand through our recent study.
这是非常重要。
This is very important.
因为进化论他们也在解释这些东西。
Because evolution cannot explain things like this.
进化论他看的是说，他看到这些生物它的相似性，所以他开始做解释。
So the evolution, because of the similarity of the different creatures, they try to explain where the origin of the creature.
他们想男生有这个东西嘛，他们就想以前男生跟女生是一样的。
So why they say men have nipples because before that men and women are same. I mean physically.
但是他们力气大，所以他们就在外面打杀抢东西来跟他的太太一起来吃。
Because they are stronger, so they go out to find things to feed their wives.
他们原来也是可以喂奶的。
Originally, they can even breastfeed.
但是因为没有用，所以就退化了，就变成那个样子了。
Because now the women's are breastfeeding, there is no longer use for breastfeeding, so it shrunk or loses functions.
但是圣经是告诉我们说，上帝起初造男造女，对不对？
But
造
the
男
Bible
造女
says God created man and women separately.
那么现在来讲，就是科学告诉我们说，开始的时候身体都是雌性的身体。
So when the fetus is formed in the beginning, they have the female body.
所以男性的乳头是没有使用的器官，不是退化的器官，这是完全跟进化论相反的，而且有合理的解释。
So although the man's nipple has no use, it doesn't mean it has degenerated or retrograded.
因为各位要晓得，我不知道你知不知道啊？现在世界上那个无神论的运动是很厉害，现在。
We know that the atheism is on the rise today in the world.
美国在近2年的调查讲到，无神论者现在已经到达，有的研究讲到达20%左右。
In US, they said that the atheism is about 20% of the population.
如果你上网去查了，你看到他的演讲在大学里面，几千人在听啊。
If you go to the website, you find that in meetings, they may have gathering of over 1,000 people.
但是他们在很多上面没有办法真的去解释，我们没有很多时间，希望以后或者有机会可以更仔细。
But they cannot explain it. Maybe some other time you can delve on this subject.
是，所以男性也会得乳癌，因为它有胸腺这一块。还有胸腺。Mammary gland.
Oh, okay. Men also have mammary gland.
所以这个早期的身体就是雌性的身体。
So in the initial state of formation, they have the body of a woman.
所以唯一的解释可能当上帝造东西的时候，是因为大量生产嘛，所以全部用雌性的身体，然后透过睾酮素把它变成男性的身体。
So when God creates, so it begins with the female's body, and then later on become man.
是
Okay, fetus.
这个 Steve Jones 他是伦敦大学的遗传学教授。
So here, this Steve Jones is a hereditary professor.
他已经讲到说，人类大约5万个基因，只有1/1000为男性所特有。
Okay, men have about 50,000 genes. Only 0.1% is unique to male.
那么这些基因从 Y 的染色体指挥中心扭转了胚胎最初的女性状态，也就是胚胎最初是女性的身体，然后变成走上男人。
So the Y chromosome directed direct the differentiation from male to female. So beginning with male, then later on formed to female.
所以他特别讲说，男性的生命是崎岖的男性之路，